Hello, everyone. So good to be here with you again in Transformation Tuesday on the 24th day of December. Please say hello in the comments if you're joining live or if you are on the replay. I first want to send you love and blessings at this sacred time of many religious practices and traditions occurring this month of December. Enjoy however you celebrate, or not, in the stillness of this time of year. Maybe it's a really busy time for you, lots of activities and gatherings and ways to celebrate, and maybe it's a really quiet, inward time of more calm and not so much interaction and being out there in the world. So whatever it is for you, I send you all my love and offer many blessings to you in however you celebrate this time. And we've just come through winter solstice last Saturday, an honoring of the cycle of nature and the seasons, a more shamanic and indigenous-based practice as we welcome more light into the earth and ourselves here in the Northern Hemisphere. It can also be a time of deciding what you're releasing and what you're calling in as the light returns. And today, the eve of the birth of Christ in the Christian religion. And tomorrow Hanukkah begins when one candle is lit each night of the 8 nights to honor the miracle of light. There is an African American celebration of culture which is new to me. I'm going to try and pronounce it. Kwanzaa is what it sounds like to me, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. That's a celebration more of culture. And earlier this month was Bodhi Day, which is honoring the Buddha's Day of Enlightenment. And December 12th is the feast day of Our Lady of Guadalupe, as she is called in Mexico, really familiar in the Toltec traditions, and the day to honor the Virgin Mary in the Catholic tradition. And also December the 12th, the indigenous name of the Virgin de Guadalupe, Tonatzin, which means our sacred mother in the indigenous language of the Nahuatl, which is pre-Spanish. So that's just a few, and maybe you know more. Please share. Hi, Irene. Happy holidays to you, my love. So please let me know about any other traditions that you are aware of that are being celebrated at this time so we can learn from each other. So let's talk about rituals of tradition. Traditions can be related to so many things. They can be related to the seasons, like we just talked about, winter solstice, one. Yeah, that is a tradition that is celebrated and honored. Traditions can be related to culture, to religion, to family. They can bring such a sense of unity amongst us, can't they? And also a passing of the cultural values to the next generations coming up. And again, I spent a lot of time in Mexico, and I really see this with my families there, is that the traditions are passed on to the children at a very young age. Religious traditions, cultural traditions, the indigenous traditions, really beautiful. So let me ask you, what brings you the most sense of well-being in the traditions that you continue to carry out at this time of year? What brings you the most sense of well-being? If you'd like to share in the comments, that would be so great. Yeah, a sense of well-being in a tradition that you carry for yourself and your family. And here's another really important question. When is it time to let go of a tradition? When is it time to let go of a tradition that you continue to offer out each year? When's it time to let go? So here's what I've discovered. When it feels like more of an obligation rather than a joy. Yeah, our obligations come from our minds, right? We must do this because we feel obligated to continue to do it. Not really coming from heart. Yeah, when we come from heart, we feel joy about what that is. So that's a really interesting inquiry that I've been investigating for myself the last couple of years. When is it time to let go of a tradition? And then when we let go of something, yeah, Rini, when it no longer serves you, absolutely. Yeah. Your heart's not in it anymore for whatever reason, and that's okay. Yeah, that's not a bad thing. It's completion. Yeah, it's a completion. And we know when we let go of something, and in this case we're talking about traditions, it creates space for something new. And so to create a new tradition for you and your family, what have you noticed about that? What are you wanting to create, or maybe have already created in that space that you have now that you've let go of something that you felt obligated to carry out? What's a new tradition for you and your family? Maybe it's creating a cultural tradition related to your heritage that was never recognized in your family. Yeah, a friend of mine has shared that recently. Part of her heritage that was never recognized, and now she's bringing in a tradition for her family in relation to her own heritage. Beautiful, so beautiful. So for myself, living in New Mexico these last years, December 12th, Our Lady of Guadalupe, which is also my birthday, there's a procession that's becoming my new tradition here. Also in Mexico, both Mexico and New Mexico, and I have participated in both. I've gone to the Basilica in Mexico City on my birthday, which is, of course, more importantly, on the feast day of Our Lady of Guadalupe, to honor her there. And here, there is a procession where her beautiful statue is carried throughout the city here in Albuquerque, a particular area, to honor her. And so that's become my new tradition on December the 12th, whether I'm in Mexico or whether I'm here in New Mexico. And I'm really embracing it. I'm really loving it. It's part of my new home here. Not so new now, over 3 years. And the culture here that I now live in and I'm part of. So I'm really loving that. And another tradition I'm noticing, and you know what, this is not even intent. What I also notice is these traditions I'm talking about are kind of organically drawing me. And so I want to include them each year. It wasn't a plan per se. On Christmas Day here in New Mexico, the northern New Mexico pueblos offer their traditional sacred dances, honoring the deer or the buffalo, out of respect for their pueblo way of life. And some of those pueblos are open to outsiders. And so that is becoming a tradition now for my partner and I to go on Christmas Day and to witness and be in prayer while the dances are going on. It's a deeply meaningful experience, which I so appreciate being allowed to be at. And as I said, some pueblos are closed. They don't allow outsiders. And some do. Yeah, it is such an incredible experience. And when I'm in my birthplace of the west coast of BC at this time of year, my traditions are very different. They are a time beside the ocean, beside in the forests, and around the dining table for long hours with my family. Eating and sharing, that is a tradition in my family. Sharing really good food and stories and catching up. Yeah, catching up with my blood family, my family of origin. And so I am going to be seeing them next week. I'm going to be traveling to see them. So share, what's the topic of tradition brought to you today? Feel into what new tradition would you like to create for yourself, for your family, whether it's your blood family, your chosen family, who you spend time with, your beloveds. What new tradition would you like to create? And what tradition are you ready to complete with? Yeah, inquire for yourself. And remember, it's okay to let go of old traditions that your heart is no longer connected to You've served that tradition for the period of time that you have. And now you can say, thank you so much for what I've received. And now I'm going to lay that tradition down. To open space for a new tradition for you and your close ones. Many blessings to you and yours as we move into our new year. And again, enjoy every moment of how you are celebrating or how you are simply being still and peaceful at this more inward time of year here in the Northern Hemisphere. And I will see you. I won't be here next week. See you January 7th right here in Transformation Tuesday. I send you all my love. Thanks so much for joining me.